Okay. Um, I thought I would make a video on TPO because a lot of people like to overcomplicate it when it doesn't need to be. I learned this pretty easily and you could apply it to any model. So let's just get into it. This is going to be the template that I use and I'm going to leave it somewhere in the description, maybe in my Discord, or I'll have like another link for it. Um, let's see. If I go to the settings here, you can see these are just the general settings. And there's going to be a couple parts to the TPO, but I'm just going to keep it as simple as possible because, like, in reality, a lot of people just overcomplicate it when it doesn't need to be. So I'm going to have two charts. This is going to be the hourly chart. So the aggregation is going to be 5 minutes to 1 hour. And then I'm going to have a daily chart where the aggregation is 30 minutes to a day. And if you're confused on what these things mean, these are just individual candles of what the profile aggregation is. So this is like looking at an hourly chart, okay? And I also have a volume profile on the side so that I could kind of confirm my levels a little bit better. And yeah, so I'm going to start with the volume profile because it's going to help you with these levels a lot better. So if you see here, there's going to be two parts to the volume profile. There's going to be your high volume nodes, which are like these areas here, where the volume is like super, super high. Like this is where you'll see a lot of chop, okay? And you don't really want to be trading in these zones. So you want to trade like these dips, these are the low volume nodes, and you want to trade like the extremes of the high volume nodes. These are called ledges, okay? So going back to the TPO, let's say you have a level like probably like right here. I don't think it would be a good level to use because you might just get chopped up, and you could even see right here like we've kind of just been chopping in this high volume node. You can see here we've just stayed right here. um but yeah, that's the volume profile. If there's a level aligning like right here, it's gonna be really, really good, okay? And then as for these actual lines that you see, there's going to be three lines. There's going to be the value area, the high and the low of it, the point of control, and then single prints. So the easiest one to explain is the point of control. This is going to be where the volume was the highest. So if you were to look like at a volume profile here, the point of control would be like here of this high volume node because that's where the volume was the highest. So price uses this as like a like a draw. It could be like support and resistance. It could hit it and bounce off, or it could go through it and like kind of use it as like a breaker. And then similarly, the single prints, they're gonna be used in the same way. So these are the black lines. They're gonna have like the same type of reaction off of them. Okay, and then the blue lines, which are the value area lines, this is like 68%, I think, of the volume traded within like this one candle. So it could be used as like equilibrium. So if you trade ICT, you would know that like if you have EQ of a range, so like let's say you have, I don't know, whatever here, you could use value area as like premium and discount. So if you see like this line here, anything above it would be like premium and below it would be like discount, for example. So like this level here, if you see the single print, there's a lot of value areas that are unmitigated, and it could act as like a discounted level, which is going to be better to buy off of. So basically how you could use it is if you already have a model, which I could just show you mine from today, which I use standard deviations. So you can see we just kind of chopped all day, but in the end we had this expansion lower. So if you align your standard deviation or whatever model that you trade, you could kind of see if there's like a single print or like an unmitigated point of control, and price could react off of it. So if I were to take these standard deviations, which would be 939 and a quarter, so let's see, 939, oh shit, I'm lost. 939, it doesn't have to be too precise. And then the bottom would be 907 and a half. 907. Okay, it's close enough. You could see two things already, and this is like exactly what I saw. Well, first thing, I actually had level from the daily, because there was a daily single print somewhere in here, or maybe a value area, I don't remember. But you can see here we have a value area, the low of it, and then underneath it is a single print. So it's like a really discounted single print right at 915, and it's basically 916. Like if you get like the tippity top. So you could mark that out, 916, and obviously you want to align like PD arrays. So like you had this 4 hour, and then there is this order block. This is like exactly what price took. But you can see there's a lot of things aligning here. So you can see price just took that as support, took that level with minimal drawdown, and that was the low of the day. So it's pretty simple. There was another trade that I called out, like once I figured this TPO stuff out. It was 006, and this actually hit overnight. It was like 1 in the morning. But basically how I found that one was I went onto the TPO, right? And this was the level right here. You can see the same thing. We were kind of discounted and this unmitigated single print, and it kind of just went with the bias. Like we swept liquidity here. I think there was like an order block. Yeah, there was a 4 hour order block. So there's a lot of things aligning, and you could just have these levels kind of stacked, like with ICT imbalances. And yeah, you could catch pretty big moves with it. You can catch small moves, but if it aligns, like with standard deviations, it's gonna be really, really good. So yeah, that's pretty much it.